embrace innovative volunteerism. Eziko.
Excellent. Let's take a photo here before we go inside, yeah? Perfect. CBS stands for the full abbreviation of CBS. Yes.
The Central Broadcasting Service.
Oh, Central Broadcasting Service.
And then PEWOSA stands for the Project to Empower Women.
Yes.
And of savings and women associations.
Project to empower women.
But now it's no longer women only.
Yeah, so it's women, it's youth, it's men, and everybody.
Yeah.
That is really excellent.
Yeah, and then we are cooperative, taking over the other 7 principles.
Come again?
The 7 principles.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a cooperative.
It's a cooperative, and then cascaded to the ground level, working through village savings and local associations.
No, for us, we don't. Community managed and microfinance.
Correct.
So it's a group.
But VSLAs are under you people, right?
Yeah. It's a group, but there's a micro structure we're doing here. Under 20 people. Yeah.
Right, so it is like a microcosm of PEWOSA at the grassroots level, and then VSLA are under CMMF.
Yeah.
Oh, that is excellent.
Yeah. So Mr. Biden just arrived.
Okay, that's Daniel, eh?
Yeah, the other one, we have other offices.
Yes.
And you will see the union now up there. That takes over all PEWOSA.
Right.
Every county has to have like PEWOSA branch.
That is really excellent.
We have Chadondo, we have Busino, we have Gundu, we have others are forming.
Right.
Yeah. So they are all under the umbrella of the union.
Yes.
So this
Nice to see you.
Thank
to see you.
Thank you.
Yes. After 2 years. After 2 years.
Yes.
Yes.
How have you been?
No, very good.
It's nice seeing you.
Likewise, my brother. Likewise.
You are whole and looking fine.
Oh, thank you so much. No, you look good. You look good.
How have you been?
Very good, and thank you for the good work you are doing with your
Thank you
team.
so much.
You were just introducing me around
Yes.
this wonderful office of yours. I went to the field. I see marvelous work being done.
That's nice.
Touching lives, changing people's lives positively.
That's very nice.
And people are so excited.
Yes.
Yes.
It's nice to see you back.
Very.
Despite
very
a lot of barriers.
Yeah.
COVID
came, but difficulties do not last forever.
I know.
We can always survive.
You have overcome.
Yes.
Things run despite a lot of questions. Yes, but our people have been very positive as well. They have been very responsive. They have liked the innovations. They are actually happy with everything.
Yes, excellent. You know what I always say is that, you see, if there were no challenges, then there will be no problem to solve.
I know.
So we will not even be here.
Yes.
So I always see challenges as disguised opportunities, but I can tell you that from what I have seen, I think this is the best structured cooperative ever across Africa that I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not saying this just because I can say it. I'm one person who says what I mean, and it's true. Because you see, most of the time in Africa, cooperatives are for people who can be able to afford. But here, it is not for people who can be able, it is for those who cannot afford, so that they can get something to afford. And that is the kind of development model we need in Africa.
Yes.
And you are showcasing it. And another aspect is you embracing these innovations to integrate it in the financial system.
Yes.
Because when I was yesterday at the United Nations Development Program, I was explaining the structural model that we are using here. I mean, everybody was excited to listen because this is not something that is normal. Hey, David Luganda. Yes, David Luganda. Yeah, the president of EBAFOSA Uganda. It's a suit day today. I'm the only one who did not well.
It's a diplomat now.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Yes.
Good morning.
David Luganda. Yes, yeah, you came down at the right time. I was just updating the general manager about the excellent work that PEWOSA is doing.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is that this is the best well-structured cooperative I have seen.
Yes.
And there are other cooperatives elsewhere that might be doing well, but the dimension I'm talking is about the realities of the situations we face.
Yes.
We cannot just send money for social issues.
No.
Without also supporting people to generate more money to save.
Yes.
Because one of the biggest sustainability that Africans need everywhere is that they can be able to put food on the table and more money in more pockets. But you need something to generate money for you to save.
Yes.
And so what I've seen is the structure of the cooperative that goes down right to the grassroots level is what is so important, because you can be able to trace where has a solution worked,
Yes.
how has it helped people,
Yes.
has it put more money in their pockets, and
Yes.
the people were giving testimony. We went to Makambi, Mulugi,
Songa.
yes, and then Songa. They saw what is happening here, saw what is happening on the ground. They're using EBA solutions to grow. They were giving testament that they can now produce more. They go dry using the solar dryer. They add value, and they were showing the forage they are producing. And I asked them questions. They said that their income has increased 50 times more than what they were doing before. These are the kind of success stories. And I was so excited, and I said, this is really wonderful. And we can only build on this success story to make more impact as we move forward.
Yes, that's
The summary of it also, just to congratulate again, excellent work. And
Yes.
please, again, when there are challenges, that's the best opportunity to tap into. They are the challenge, you take it. When there is any challenge and difficulties, don't ever see it as a challenge, it's an opportunity.
Yes.
CBS PEWOSA.
Yes.
Powerful.
Actually,
Yes.
I saw your tweet.
Oh, it's all, yes, I
I
tweeted,
remember
right?
I tweeted, but
Yes.
immediately I tweeted, I got 16.
16 retweets, bro.
I was like,
No, excellent.
it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and I'm very happy to be here and accept greetings from the UN Environment Program. We are
Yes.
very proud of the model that we are trying to pilot, that we're piloting with CBS PEWOSA. The thinking is that innovative financing, like what I was saying, is
Yes.
going to be the biggest big thing across Africa.
Yes.
And starting from Uganda here, because the idea is that if you look at the changing climate, we are having drought, we are having floods. I
Yes.
mean, this is the new normal, we're going to live with this. But how are we going to empower every community? Because even if you have $10 trillion US today, you cannot solve all the problems of the planet.
Yeah.
The money will finish.
Yeah.
Because the truth is that if you give someone money today without an income generating solution or activity, you will eat them. And then you have actually caused more problems because you have taught him or her how to eat money. So when yes, when now the money finish, he needs more money. So you are causing more problems. and this is a dimension that is not really discussed.
Yes.
So getting people how to make money
Yes.
is the best sustainable way to lift people up.
Yes.
And that means that you are teaching them how to fish, not giving them fish to eat, and then ask you again to give them fish. That's dependency.
Yes.
So the best way to implement climate action solutions is to empower people to build themselves up,
Yeah.
put money in their pockets, put on the table, and continue to solve the problem they're solving in a way that is generating opportunities for them, investment opportunities, socio-economic opportunities. And I think this narrative is what has been missing in the context of climate change in the continent. Because somebody will come, and the narrative has been about dependency and hand art. Hand arts do not build resilience.
Yes.
They actually perpetuate dependency, which is dangerous, like I
Yes.
said. And that is why when I saw young people who are testifying that David has trained them how to use these EBA approaches, how to use the solar dryer to add value, they were not asking for money. They were saying we are making money.
Yes.
This is the kind of language, but it's very rare in Africa to hear people say we are making money. They don't say we are making money. They say give us money.
Yes.
So the narrative changed. So I'm just here to give testament from
Yes.
what I got from the ground. That I'm happy. You can see where I'm speaking. I'm so excited. And you people are doing good work. I can only do on this.
Thank you so much.
David, the team leader, thank you very much, and
Yes.
thank you, General Manager. I saw. You remember 2 years ago when I came and
Yes.
you were there when
Yes,
we
yes,
discussed this cooperative thing.
Yes.
You asked a very important question there. And the question was, how can we take this work to the communities
Yes.
in a way that they can be able to embrace it? And you also asked us, do we have like agricultural extension workers who are going to do this?
Yes.
And what I said was that we are going to use your, you already have the structures. Those structures are your extension workers.
Yes.
What we will come in to do is to train them.
Yes.
So that they can also train their own people.
Yeah.
And now they can take it off.
Yes.
This is the model of development we need.
Yes.
CBS for African
Handouts, you know.
Yes, it's an
People
African
were not
mentality.
thinking what should they be doing for themselves. They had a lot of potential around, but they could not tap it because they needed somewhere to enhance them. just a small push, and that's what we are doing. A push in the training, innovations, creativity, and understanding the dynamics of where they are, and then they start. So wherever we've gone, people are no longer begging,
Correct.
but they are actually working and they are saving.
That's the mindset change that Africa needs.
Actually,
It takes time, but it's the right thing to do.
Even here in Uganda, like yesterday, you were here. And there's some circles who are coming from his area, Mukolo. Just coming here to understand. You PEWOSA people, how do you do these things? Because for us, we've been here 12 years. And then we can only have people saving only 200 million. For you, you have been here 6 years, but you have over 15 billion.
15 billion?
Yes, 15 billion in the whole establishment. 6 years, half their time. But we are almost 2,000 ahead of them. What is it that you are doing? Please teach us. So I told her that you will have to come. And then we teach.
But the beauty is also that you are open to innovation.
Yes.
Remember when we brought the idea of climate action solutions integrated to CBR operation, you embraced it.
Yes.
Some people do not embrace it. And embracing that also means that you are innovating the way that your operations work. And that's what makes the difference.
Yes.
That's what makes the difference. And you will not see people coming to you, which is
Yes.
good. But the truth is that you are number one in this style of work, in integrating climate action solutions into your operational processes.
Yes.
And you will always remain in history annals that you are number one on earth. On earth. Not only in Uganda, not only in Africa, on earth. On earth.
Because we realized one thing, that it's not all about financial services.
Correct.
That one, everyone is able to understand.
Yes.
But there are also other challenges which people don't understand.
Correct.
And then they need somebody to tell them what is it that we can do. They can say it's not coming, there's no long house, many things are changing, there is warming up. They know that there is a problem, but they cannot tell how is it that we can look and match it with what we are doing. That's what they needed. And that's why we intervened, we went slowly, we were very patient with them, we trained them, we assisted them, showed them, and then we would also tell them the consequences of not touching them with climate change. Like one time, you'll have nothing to eat, and then you'll have nowhere to get money. Because the environment has changed. So also change the way you are doing things. They said, okay, let us try it out. But it is generating a lot of innovations, a lot of income, they are seeing that there is a lot of potential they can actually tap. What used to be a waste is now a resource. What used to be neglected, it is high value now. They used to grow cassava for maybe dry spells when there is no food. But now it is making bread.
It's a business for them.
Yes.
It's an insurance crop now. They're making bread, they're making porridge. So from what you are saying, you can confidently say that the work of EBAFOSA in Uganda here that has been
added a lot of value.
CBS PEWOSA has added value
to our work in financial services. It has actually enriched our financial services. We give a better package than other service providers.
For those of you who are watching, this is the General Manager of CBS PEWOSA. Maybe GM, just introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Senator Daniel Abbott. I'm the General Manager of CBS PEWOSA Circles. We are happy to have this partnership. It has been of high value to us. It has enriched our services, has widened our way of doing things, and it has created uniqueness in our service delivery. So we give financial services, matching them with climate change, and then this kind of new model is actually doing wonders down there in the community.
I mean, that is really, you are the first cooperative in the entire African region to have integrated climate change into your operations. I mean, and this is really a big thing. And through the unit EBAFOSA work in Uganda here, that you have collaborated to work from the financial services now to income generating opportunities to build their resilience, so that when there are droughts they can survive, when there are floods they can survive. So how did your board receive this innovative approach that you can use climate action solutions to actually empower people and help them generate more opportunities for themselves? How did they receive this? Because someone listening will really want to understand.
The board is very receptive. The board is receptive to innovations. The board is receptive to improvement. The board is receptive to new things that actually make the communities better.
Right.
Because most of our communities are farmers.
Correct.
And these farmers are realizing that their yields are actually going down. But they don't know the technology, they don't know the tools,
Correct.
they don't know the information, they don't know how it can be done to reverse the negative trend. So they were very receptive that they realized that once they incorporate climate change, they can restore the former glory of their communities, their gardens, the food security, the incomes, but also living in a much more better environments. So when we took the innovations down there, they were able to receive them. They are actually demanding for them. The demand is much higher than the supply that we can actually give.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That is a very good point. So can you then say that by working with these communities now, and now they're using these climate action solutions of solar dryers or EBA approaches in their cropping in their farm, drying the cassava, turning into porridge, producing balgia, which I saw in the field, that at least their revenue has increased and also savings to CBS PEWOSA has also gone up.
Very much, because in the communities, we started with the community managed microfinance groups, but there are also groups that were actually
community microfinance
groups.
Yeah.
Those groups now, they were actually involved in savings and credit. And then at the end of the year, they would actually do what we call action audit. They just audit their books, see how much they have saved, how much they have generated, and then they share out, and then they start all over again. But down there were also independent groups, and there were farmers. There was not so much interested in financial services district, but they realized that if they incorporate climate change, they could actually increase their incomes. So we did that. We went to them with that innovation. They were very receptive.
Right.
They were very positive, and then they wanted to incorporate climate change. When they did, their incomes increased.
Exactly. We saw one lady in Songa who is who actually show what they are producing.
Yes.
The porridge that they are producing from cassava.
Yes.
And she spoke and actually knew of that, which I know is part of the culture. But she said she was appreciative that their lives have changed.
Yes.
They are now able to make money.
Yeah.
They sell as a group, but they also get a commission for selling. So you sell as a group.
Yes.
You sell as a group. The money is saved as a group, but you also get money to your pocket.
Yes.
So what you are saying, I really saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
So maybe for someone who is listening, the community, the CMML, right?
Yeah,
The
CMML.
Community
Management microfinance.
Microfinance.
Yes.
The VSLAs are under that. Oh, what is the difference between VSLAs?
They are the same.
They're the same.
The same, yeah.
They're just the same, so it's just a change.
It's
in
the
name,
same
right?
approach, but the names are interchanged.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is good. So the aspect of de-risking, because one of the thinking is that if you actually want to trace where actions are happening and where money is going, what we've argued is that using cooperatives is the best way, because first of all they have already existing structure,
Yes.
like the one that CBS PEWOSA do have in Uganda and in the Uganda Kingdom.
Yes.
You are top as CBS PEWOSA, but you cascade to communities through community microfinancing, community management microfinance. You also call it village savings and loans association.
Yes. Right.
Which means you have that structure, which is very, very easy to know where things are happening and how savings are being made.
Yes.
The de-risking part, I want to understand. So you have an experience with this, that with the work of the EBAFOSA and the de-risking tool that we established with you, was that if these VSLAs were, for example, to grow their cassava and dry the cassava and sell to then save or to pay back a loan, have you actually started to test this de-risking to see whether people who take a loan to get maybe a briquette machine, or to get maybe a solar dryer, or to get inputs for their farm to plant their G-nuts or their cassava, and to not pay back because they will generate income?
Yeah.
So how has your experience been with that? Or it hasn't yet started?
The beauty about it is that those people who actually taken these innovations, we've not had anyone default.
Excellent, that's good news. Did you hear that? Nobody default when he used a climate, climate action solution.
Because,
that is genius. Thank you, Mr. D.
The solution actually reduces the risk of default. The risk of default.
Did you hear that? The solution, climate action solution, reduces the risk of default. Yes.
So once the risk of default is reduced, then the incomes are actually enhanced. So the defaulting is also so much reduced, so that they are actually sure that they will be able to pay back the money. And so most of the people used to suffer from like droughts, prolonged droughts.
Prolonged droughts.
They used to suffer from like post-harvest losses. They used to suffer from minimal value chain and value addition.
Yes.
So all these ones are able actually to improve their incomes, but also their certainty of getting their incomes in time.
Wonderful.
So we've not had so much trouble. So what we need to do is actually to increase that intervention, to make sure that those people are actually able to integrate climate change in their normal business activities.
Mr. GM, you've said something. I mean, I must applaud you again and your team.
Yes.
For the excellent work for embracing this climate action dimension. And I can see in your portfolio here, offering the credit products. You've actually put climate action solutions loans.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just explain to the world what does this climate action solutions loan here, which is working with EBAFOSA to help communities build climate resilience.
Yeah.
Now you have a loan product.
Yeah,
and you are the first across the world that I know using a microfinance organization like this one to support communities with a loan facility.
Yeah.
This is impressive. Maybe just tell us a bit about it.
We start from the social perspective in cooperatives and end up with an economic perspective. That is the philosophy in cooperatives. So what we do is to train people. We do a lot of training, a lot of sensitization, a lot of sharing knowledge, so that people are able to integrate these technologies.
Yes.
And after that, they will demand for more. They will demand for more resources like money to invest in these products.
Climate products.
Yes.
So, for example, now, if I am a farmer in Songea Mukono district,
yes,
and I've seen a solar dryer that is being used by this community to add value. But I'm a farmer there and I want to get a solar dryer for my own personal use, if they want to, or I want to get a briquette machine for my own. And I come to CBS PEWOSA and I want to access this climate action solutions loan. What do I need and what do I need to present so that I can be able to access this loan?
Yeah, it's just like these are the requirements, the criteria whereby you need, being a cooperative, you need to become a member.
Correct.
And then you also need to open up an account with us. And then also you need to show us what you're actually doing, even if it is in the line of climate change.
Right.
Because once you come, what we started as social, now we look at it as business.
Correct.
If you want to borrow now. So we look at its cash flows.
I like that part. That you look at it as social.
Yes.
Then look at
and then transform to business. So we start as social business, then it becomes an economic business now.
Correct.
Because somebody has understood what they are supposed to be doing and how they can generate income.
And he's going to use this to generate income. So does it mean that he gets low interest rates?
Yeah, ordinarily,
yes,
we leave them at the same interest rate because we don't want them to be highly subsidized.
Right.
Because it is business.
Correct.
Now it is business. So they will dry their cassava.
So what interest rate, for example, are we
It's
talking?
like 3%.
Oh, 3%. That's
for the
affordable.
climate
For the climate
all of the
action
products.
solutions.
All of the products.
Okay.
It's only one product which is the expensive. This is the emergency loans.
Yes.
Because these ones, when they come, they actually take the money immediately. But these ones, the rest, they carry 3%.
Okay.
That month.
And this has the risk sharing facility that in case the default that has happened. From what you're saying is that nobody has ever defaulted because the climate action solution have actually helped them even increase their earnings more. So this is really good.
On the contrary, that since their incomes are enhanced from what we projected, so they actually do not become risky at all. They're no longer risky.
So this is really
They are
good.
very economical.
Yes.
Yes, they are now very economical. So we give to economically viable businesses, including climate change.
So how many people have taken loans under this
We have
facility,
about
climate
5.
action?
We have about 5.
Wow, and you just started the other day.
Yeah, we started some time back, but we need to teach them a lot of things.
Yes.
Now it should be done. But
And this is coming from the groups that the EBAFOSA have worked
these,
together
yeah,
with.
the groups where we have a EBAFOSA,
Excellent. That's really
including Gomba. This is the farthest I think.
good. Yes, Gomba.
Yes.
Next
The
time when I will come, I'll go and see. So this is very good. I think that's so. The last aspect I want to ask on it, you see, you already have the health insurance. You know, one of the things with the climate change is that you might have drought, you might have flood sometimes, that even the climate action solutions that are produced, it may be a briquette machine, it may be a solar dryer, that if you have a flood and it gets flooded, it might still destroy this asset, because these are assets. Whether it's a briquette machine that is met and a farmer gets it, or it's a solar dryer. And then there's also the other dimension that yes, a farmer might grow her crops using EBA approaches, intercropping, yes, harvest, bumper harvest, then dries it in the solar dryer, excellent. And it lasts even 6 months where she wants to get a market. In case she doesn't get a market, she might not be able to service her loan. So the thinking, building on what you're already doing, because you have health insurance that you run through this cooperative, and it's a suggestion that I wanted to propose and get your thinking on it is, it would be good to also start thinking about climate action insurance.
Oh.
Which then means that it can be factored into these loans. They pay the loan and also pay that insurance, just in case there is a default from the perspective, because the default can be 3 perspectives. From the asset side, it might be destroyed and they will need to cover the solar dryer with a UV paper. That insurance can then be able to cover that in case. The other part is the product and marketing part, that if they're unable to get a market, for example, over 6 months, which in very, very limited cases, that it will not even happen. It's like the de-risking thing. It will not happen because they will be trained, they're having markets, they're high quality, but just in case, then their loan service can be covered by that insurance for that time that they're unable to service because they didn't have a market. So I don't know how you see this logic and how possible this can be done. So that will be a beautiful thing to do that will become an example for the world, that in driving climate resilience, yes, there is already a climate action loan that CBS PEWOSA has developed, the first ever in the world that we know. Now they are also developing a climate action insurance, which they are working through EBAFOSA that they have been working with to integrate these climate action solutions. In case there is a weather event, because we're under climate change, that destroys an input, climate action input, or climate action solution, or the crop itself. So I want to move a little bit away from the crop, because the crop insurance is easier.
Yeah.
But the crop will not necessarily be destroyed because of the EBA approaches that are being used.
Yes.
But now is the tail end that what if you took a loan to get a climate action loan to get a solar dryer or to get a briquette machine, and there is a flood that destroys, or birds that come and destroy even the UV, or kids come and destroy it, can they then be able to have the money to fix it? No, but the insurance. So what I'm trying to say is it's very easy to do it. It can be factored into the climate action loan. Just a little percentage paid over time that can cover those aspects, from the production to the asset and to the market. Just to caution the farmer that you will still be okay even if you're unable to generate income because of climate change that destroys either of these, or even because of the market, because markets sometimes can be unpredictable. Will they be unpredictable because of what we are seeing? No. They will not be, because the quality of the cassava from what they said is excellent. But bringing in this innovation protects everyone against any risk, climate risk, default risk, uncertainty risk, and all those things. What you are thinking about this?
To be factored in this model, because once you introduce insurance, you are actually de-risking the product further.
Correct.
And then also you are building a buffer fund
I like that.
Yes.
A buffer fund.
A buffer
Did you hear that? A buffer fund, right? For climate action solutions.
A buffer fund.
Yes.
As people using this product continue to increase, so the buffer fund also increases.
Correct.
In case we have a problem, a challenge, any risk in the future, we are able to handle without necessarily transferring it to our climate change borrowers.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what you can also do is it can also become another instrument within CBS PEWOSA where people who don't have anything to do with agriculture or who don't have anything to do with the access to of assessing climate action inputs or assets can also invest in it.
Yes.
So the insurance become also a facility within CBS that other people can invest in it and get dividends. So how am I saying this? Because you see, insurance can also be a saving tool.
Yes.
That you put your money there, it covers some aspects that you may need to be covered. Like the health insurance, sometimes people put in their money there, it covers their health.
Yes.
But at some point, they can also get dividends out of it.
Yes, that's
So these can be structured in that way so that somebody who is not necessarily part of the actions on the ground can contribute to part of the actions to climate action by also investing in this, which you can still use that resources to invest back in the loans that support climate action assets.
Yes.
Just some thoughts.
Because as it continues to grow,
Yes.
as a fund, so we don't leave the fund idle.
Correct.
Also invest in
it.
loans and
Yes.
generates more money.
And that become another tool under your credit product. So you have the climate action solutions loan, and then you also have the climate action insurance facility.
Climate action
Insurance solutions insurance facility.
insurance.
Yes. Then
I think
likes
we
of
will
team
incorporate
together
it.
can invest in it. And,
I think the next we will start immediately because we already have this product.
Wonderful.
So we'll
Yes.
add it here.
Yes.
And then we will start talking about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Because one of the biggest opportunities is you don't need this Daniel, right?
This one I have, but
You already have the communication person. Yeah, I've been seeing this activity online. You're doing well. Yes. So especially on the climate action solutions insurance facility.
Yes.
I would like that you call it insurance facility.
Yes.
Facility. So that at least climate action solutions insurance facility. But you can just climate action insurance facility. Yes, in brackets, so that it's building on the room facility, but it's just that you are further buffering, like you are calling it a buffer fund. Yes, buffer fund. You can still call it climate action buffer fund. But I think insurance.
That's a better name.
Yeah.
Action buffer fund.
Buffer fund. Buffer fund will be because insurance is a word that everybody knows, but buffer. I said, what is buffer? Is it buffer or what are you talking about? Yes, I think that would really be wonderful. So now, before we round up this discussion and get to the room there, what from your experience as the general manager of PEWOSA, working with your board and working with your clients who are now your CMMF, I happen to see the work there is. What could you confidently say that this has brought this partnership with EBAFOSA and CBS PEWOSA in supporting climate action with the work that you are doing on the ground?
Thank you. What I can confidently say and also very excited to say is
I like that. Very excited to say, yeah.
is originally working with farmers, but we were, I think, doing halfway the story because we were not addressing climate change. And indeed, climate change was actually escalating the risks from the farmer's perspective, but also from our perspective out as a farmer. But now, climate change is actually bringing the point of intersection to de-risk risks from our side and risks from the farmer's side to make it a viable economic activity.
Wonderful. So what the support that EBAFOSA has provided, how do you, what's your feedback on it?
The feedback is that we are now giving a more holistic product to our farmers. It was, we were kind of doing it not the better one that they are needed. Because for them, they continue to produce, but the production continues to go down and down.
So do you think without the support of EBAFOSA, we could have achieved what you have achieved today?
No, without it, we wouldn't have gone this far. Because we will have actually exited maybe possibly farming agriculture because of the escalated risk.
Yes.
But now that the risk is managed and actually going down, we intend to increase our farming performance.
Wonderful, I like that. Now I will end with this part, which is very close to my heart and to your heart as well.
Yes.
The young people.
Yeah.
The young people. You know, they are our strength, but at the same time they are also a weakness if we don't count on their strength.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And they are very vulnerable to the challenges. Yes, of course, climate change challenge. Then it also makes them vulnerable in the sense that they are not getting jobs, and they're thinking sometimes that government needs to give them jobs. But what we usually say is, of course, government needs to create an enabling environment for young people across Africa to have jobs. But here you have developed this tool. If a young person today who has come out of university wanted to access this loan, a climate action solutions loan, without a financial track record, without a credit history, he comes to CBS PEWOSA. He said, I want to be part of the climate change action, but I don't have money to start, and I want to access this loan. What advice will you give that young people? And I think this is a message that goes beyond the youth of Uganda, but to the entire youth of Africa. And we really want to hear from you.
The message is simple. Now that we've tested and seen that there is a lot of innovation in climate change,
yes,
so we can finance a loan from the innovations perspective. Why? Because the risk is managed, and there are areas that we have boundaries that you can intervene in these areas and be successful.
So if a young person is taking a loan to say, okay, I want to get a climate action asset like a solar dryer, CBS PEWOSA can be able to avail that loan even if it doesn't have a track record. And what you are saying, which is making a lot of sense, because that asset on its own, first of all, will be insured. That then means that even if it defaults, insurance will cover. Second is that asset has proven that they can generate opportunities and income. So if he uses it effectively, he can then be able to pay back that loan.
Very well.
And I think the third part is that working through EBAFOSA, that person will also have to be engaged to be trained so that reduce the further risk. And so we have structures in place. Excellent. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure. I think we cannot end without David saying a word before we go to the room there. David, what can you say in 1 minute? In this beautiful time.
The work of CBS PEWOSA and EBAFOSA Uganda, the partnership has been good, and this is seen. When you are doing work, it's seen by the rural people, the rural women who are implementing climate action solution loans, who have taken them on, and also enterprises. For example, briquettes, value addition, solar dryer activities. So we are not only bringing boardroom meetings, but also on ground. This is happening. We have seen this in the field, and our coordinator has been moving around all the VCLKs, asking questions, monitoring this. So we urge other groups to take up such solutions and also embrace the climate action solution loans, and also embrace the new product we have brought on board, and also CBS.
You mentioned product. How do you feel today with the general manager talking about these products, that climate action solution product is integrated there with the work that you have led in EBAFOSA, and now with the risking the buffer fund that how do you feel?
I'm happy.
On top of the moon.
I'm happy on top of the moon because farmers have been training. They want to do main activities, for example, value addition, but they lack funds. Yet they want to move on, and they are doing the right thing. So CBS PEWOSA accepting this product as one of their financial services given out to the community, I think it will boost, and also introducing the climate action insurance.
So who are we talking about now? So who is giving this wonderful idea? What is it?
I'd love to thank the Secretariat of Ministry.
What is your name? That's what I'm asking.
My name is David Uganda, and I'm the team lead of EBAFOSA Uganda and Innovative Volunteerism Africa in Uganda. So this is quite interesting, And if it's taken up, we have seen the climate is changing, floods are happening, drought, yet we have to find solutions. Simple solutions, but having big impact, and also providing data for policy at the global, local, and national level.
You said it all. Thank you very much on the GS. I mean, I cannot get out without expressing our deep appreciation for the wonderful partnership that has been fostered in CBS PEWOSA. And I want to appreciate you and your board and the entire team of PEWOSA for embracing the climate action solutions and also for listening to you and also seeing it firsthand on the ground. They say, seeing is believing. When you see, you believe. And I have seen, and I've not that I ever doubted it, but seeing again gives more confidence because I was able to interact with the communities who gave first-hand information on how these solutions have changed their lives. But you know, they say money is power. Yes, it is. If you can have money, you can do a lot of things. But sometimes the flow of that money continuously is even more powerful and sweeter. And I think what we're doing is that we're focusing on the source. How can the source continue? Because if you are in the ministry, you may enjoy water for some time, but when the source cuts off, the river will dry up, you will not have water to drink, you will not even have water to swim. So what you are doing is trying to make sure that the source continues. And to David, thank you very much for your wonderful, excellent work with the team and the wonderful collaboration that you foster on the ground. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
He is one of the directors.
Oh, wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. You people are doing wonderful work.
Nakaseke.
Nakaseke.
Yeah, Nakaseke, where we installed a tech dryer. And this is the...
And I'm going to see it when I come back.
Yeah, the person coordinating.
Oh, wonderful.
The chili, the gardens, you saw it.
Excellent, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We welcome the technology.
No, thank you. So, we'll just in 1 minute, what is your take-home message to us that you have seen it work with
The technology brings about value addition.
Correct.
We had youth who were growing kids. You know, kids has seasons. They said at times it is at the grass. But now, by having that technology down, we are going to maximize this.
And it's going to create more opportunities for you,
Exactly.
women, and this is
for women, for youth. Yeah. In my organization, we had in the constitution was special for other parts, but we amended it to bring all youth, because as we are growing, we need to work with the youth so that it matters them.
Yes, so that they can pick up from the good aspects.
And have a good team leader of that youth group. I was also to deal with that, I think they have from the start of this year. So, but we are trying to...
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And as we're doing all these things, data that is coming out of this, so that it gets taken on at policy level. Because one of the ways moving forward is that, of course, even government resources now need to start thinking, how do you channel resources through structures that have proven to work, to drive action, and cooperatives, especially like CBS PEWOSA, become the easy, traceable and accountable structure to reach people on the ground. Not only reaching people to eat, but to create income opportunities that can put more money in more pockets. And that is the best way. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, how are you?
Ivan.
Okay, good. Nice to see you.
This is our finance department.
Wonderful.
So people handling these resources
Yes.
from units around
that
and
is
here.
That is
So these are our stewards here.
We are leading them to show how it works, so that a lot of people can take it up across Uganda.
So when they come to
That's what they talk to think through.
yeah, no, so we actually tell them about it because they come to join us with our business framework, including climate change.
Excellent.
So we tell them that if you don't interpret it in your financial services, you are becoming very limited.
Very limited and vulnerable.
Yes.
That is
so you
important.
actually expose.
So that will be a very good report from PEWOSA that from the work you've done with the EBAFOSA, you've integrated it to your financial portfolio, but at the same time, you are also getting these to be induced to other cooperatives to pick it up. That is part of scaling.
Yes, because they also come here to learn how we've been successful with PEWOSA.
Excellent.
So we tell them even if we are doing PEWOSA financial services, but there is also climate change, which has been added, which is actually giving more value to our financial services and also our farmers. So most of these primary circles have farmers, so they need to actually integrate it. They say, no, we will take it. So sooner or later in the future,
you are a leader for Africa. You ready to this climate change?
they work in regularly. Every week we have them. Even some of them come here for training, just to mentor them in the methodology, business methodology. So in that business methodology, we integrate climate change.
Excellent.
They go back because they are based in rural areas. So they need to integrate climate change.
You should provide me a short report on this.
And we'll give you a report because actually I'm the general manager of the union.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations. We are in the right place. Yeah. The right place. Yeah, that is good.
So when I enter here, I put on another
hat.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, because actually I've been in supervising these microfinance institutions and circles for the last 30 years.
Wow.
In Nairobi,
Wow.
Tanzania, Rwanda,
Yes.
Sudan, up to South Africa.
Yes.
So when we are talking to them, actually talking what I know best to talk to them.
Yes.
Yes.
No, excellent.
Yes.
No, but I must appreciate the passion and the way you raise these climate action solutions. And you know, sometimes there is an attitude in Africa when people don't see things working, they don't embrace it.
Yes.
But now that you have embraced the first person, like I said, you will always be the first person, the first cooperative that embraced this.
Yes.
Others will start taking it up because they've seen that it's working, it's generating more opportunities, it's bringing more money, and now it can just go like wildfire.
Yes, because we actually tell them rightly that if you don't do climate change solutions and innovations with your financial services, you won't go very far. Because most of the farmers that you need for them to save with you are crippled, and you are not doing anything about it.
Correct.
Yeah, so once you don't do anything about it to actually de-risk their businesses, then definitely you won't receive savings anymore.
That is true.
Yes.
Because when you have people, your clients are viable,
Yes.
business-wise,
You can always wait for savings.
And when the economic opportunities increase, your
Yes.
savings increase, and everybody grows. They are happy, you are happy. But if you don't factor that
Yes.
into your portfolio to also guide and teach them
Yes.
to integrate climate action solutions,
Yes.
you will lose business because when they fail to get money, you will not be able to get money to back.
Even when you give them loans and they cannot pay back,
You are at risk.
Yes.
You are
actually losing them
Losing.
because they become defaulters instead.
Yes.
So the relationship gets sour, and then you start, trying to trample. You start really to talk hard.
Exactly.
Other than actually being friendly, because now with us here, farmers come from even banks from Argentina. They come to us because of these climate change innovations. They say,
So these climate change innovations are actually brought more clients to CBS.
More outreach. We've actually gone where we never used to operate because they are farmers and they are actually, we are using climate change to pull them to one side because they know that we train them, and then when they get loans they will not default, and actually they will increase their savings and they will have something to save with us.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. That is really great. And so the trainings by EBAFOSA are very crucial because you provide the financial literacy, then they provide the training on the climate action inputs like solar dryers, briquettes, and all that. And that partnership is another model that it's really. So when we talk of de-risking, people need now to understand from what you're explaining that yes, you understand the financial implications, but at the same time, the technical support to also get that. Building this partnership with EBAFOSA has been an excellent opportunity. And now, even if you are to take to other cooperatives, because you already have that partnership, they can still continue to train. And that's how you develop a country. You know, the model of development needs to be reshaped because under climate change, you cannot do business as usual.
Yes.
Like you rightly said, when you give out loans to people to do something, if they don't do it, or even if they do it and climate change is wrong, they cannot be able to pay back. So they'll be poor, even though they have access to credit. So how do we make sure that they survive climate change to improve themselves economically, but also pay back the loan? So everybody ends up being happy.
Yeah, the relationship is a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
The win but also we. At the end of the day, you know, we've seen that when you do something that is very successful, it attracts a lot of people to come and see what is the secret behind its success.
Yes. But the start is always difficult.
Remember in that room, and no one believed in us.
3 years ago, we were sitting in the room in
Munang.
Yes. And in the hall, people could not believe this idea. You were the one who asked the most important question and embraced the idea and moved forward.
Yes.
But thank you very much. Yes, go ahead. Finish.
Our people would like to be successful in what they are doing, even farming, because still today, these commercial banks are still negative about financing agriculture. But for us, we are very open, very supportive. Yes. We teach, and then we mentor them to be successful. And once they are successful, they continue coming to us. So we have more farmers than them now.
And with this climate action dimension now, it's more attracting a lot of people now. No, that is good.
Thank you very much. Outreach has widened so much,
yes,
and we are happy about it.
Excellent.
We did the right decision to take it on.
Perfect. And you can count on our support. We continue to support, provide guidance, training, and make sure that every corner of Uganda Kingdom will have access to climate action solutions, and we will continue to take it.
We will surely do it.
We maybe will take a photo down there. Yes, at the signboard down there.
Okay.
Yes. This one works. Then make the test. Using the data that comes out of it, this is the way to go. And people believe in it. You know, the problem with all Africans is that we generally don't believe in something that we don't see it working. So once it starts to work, especially when they can bring money, then they will come to you and they'll say, oh, I want to do that thing. They don't even ask you, how did you do it?
The process.
No, they don't want the process, they want the product. They say, I want to do that thing. I want to be like PEWOSA. To do cricket. You ask him, have you been trained on the cricket? He said, no, I've not been trained, but when I get the money, I was like, no, they want to go. Especially the young people. They just want to do that. No, it doesn't work that way. So what you are doing is excellent, because these processes are documented.
Yes.
We want.
Yes.
And now we have the climate action solution. Every young person wants to say, I don't have a job. No.
This one here.
With a room gets them.
Yeah.
Pay back the money.
Yes.
Now there is
pay back.
Pay back the money. So we've done a very interesting part today, the Muka one. The insurance actually is big. So even if they don't pay, that insurance will cover. So next time we bring the roof back to the insurance cover. Okay. The manager will explain. Yes. Excellent. So this is good. I know we can keep on talking, but we have a talk to young people in Makerere. I hope you will all be there.
Yes, we will come.
No, you have to come and explain climate action. So they're there waiting for government to employ them. No government anywhere on earth can employ anyone. But they're not told this truth. They think that automatically government is supposed to even brush their teeth when they get up from bed, save them dinner and lunch, and give them money to go and have fun and dance and enjoy. That world doesn't exist. Even in the Bible, that's a fallacy. It's a lie.
It's not there.
It's a lie, my brother. You must work hard to get something. And now, actually, CBS is making it easier. CBS and EBAFOSA is making it easier, because when we are going on, we didn't have this opportunity. Now the opportunity is there. Get yourself and get trained. Come and assess a loan and start to generate income and pay back the loan and to make money. Simple. Stop complaining politics, complaining election. Look, no matter what you put in power, if there are no idea to use this kind of system, and if the citizens who that's what I do. So you are doing well in the entire world. So thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Yes, enjoy the rest of the day. We'll meet in the afternoon there.
Have a together. And if you have time, provide it. Say 3, 2, 1.
Today, we are at Makerere University with Dr. Richard Munang, the regional coordinator of climate change in Africa, UNEP office, and also the coordinator and the fourth person of UNEP EBAFOSA Uganda, Dr. Richard Munang, all the way from Nairobi, United Nations Environmental Program. I would love to know what have you come to do here, because many activities are going to transpire in this hall. Maybe you can.
Yeah, by the way, David, yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here with you. I mean, wonderful tie and wonderful pochette. Excellent. Yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here. We are actually inside the campus of Makerere University here in Kampala, and I've just come to take the preparations that are already ongoing for the lecture that is going to take place this afternoon. So what I've come to do here in the campus is, I mean, just to check whether the preparations are going okay, but the most important thing is the work that UNEP EBAFOSA is doing in Uganda, which you are the team leader, which I've seen on the field, which is actually driving climatepreneurship. And what is climatepreneurship? Leveraging climate challenges into opportunities, and in the course of doing that, socio-economic opportunities are created and jobs are created for the young people. Simple solar dryer to help a mother reduce post harvest loss. So what I'm going to do today will be discussing this during the lecture, explaining exactly what is at stake, how those aspects at stake are disguised opportunities for young people to tap into, and how we can all rally, especially the young generation, to seize these climate challenges and start turning them to opportunities. And I'm using the practical example which I've seen on the field and for the good work that you and your team are doing.
To cut you short, what is the theme of today's lecture? And you have been having many lectures across Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, Kenya, but today you have come to Uganda. What is the theme of the lecture? And you can elaborate more as to why you started these lectures.
Excellent. You know, the reality is that if you look at the entire African population today, over 60% are youthful. And 60% again, paradoxically, of these young people are unemployed. And 12 million of them are getting to the labor market each and every year. So the question is, how can jobs be created for them? And if you look at the discussion around youth unemployment, youth wealth creation, it centers on what governments can do alone. But we forget the hidden part of what the youth can do themselves to turn those challenges, as they use data from what they do to demand for policy changes and incentives to take the work forward. That's the only panacea of how jobs will be created. And therefore, the lecture that you rightly said, yes, I gave one in Nigeria the other day, and today I'm here to give, and the title is Climate Action Entrepreneurship. Climate Action Entrepreneurship. Actually, how do we, in the course of taking climate action, to make sure we don't increase emissions, to make sure we build resilience, create business opportunities for our own selves, and in this case, young people. So the discussion will be to showcase practically what needs to be done, how it is being done across the continent, and how the young people need to embrace it. And that is why you will now see that the spirit of innovative volunteerism, that is actually what I call the turbocharger for world creation for young people. And you will expect to hear more around this. But it will also be an opportunity for me to challenge the young people to take responsibility and become what I call values-based leaders.
Before you challenge the young people,
yes.
What has the EBAFOSA done? Because we have seen many organizations having meetings, from meeting to meeting, from conference to conference. Has the EBAFOSA done any work down? I'm saying to the rural people, to the rural women, you know, climate change is affecting everyone, and mostly the mothers in the villages and also in urban.
Correct.
What has the EBAFOSA done, and we are trying to showcase it?
Exactly. You know, the question of what has something done is always a very interesting one, because it always misses at how did the EBAFOSA come about, and what is it doing, how is it impacting life? And I know that that's a very cliche question, which is very, very important to start answering it. Is that, first of all, the EBAFOSA is an idea.
Okay.
It's not a project per se, it's an idea. And what is this idea? The idea is what an individual can do within what he or she is doing. And in the course of doing what he or she is doing, she integrates climate action solutions into that process. For example, a mother who is roasting corn using charcoal, that's a business, a day-to-day business. But engaging young people to retool their skills, to devise a solution, which in this case is a climate action solution, like turning agricultural waste into briquettes. And that mother now starting to use those briquettes and embrace it because it's cheaper than charcoal, is already an EBAFOSA actor.
Good.
the young person who have retooled her skill, his or her skill, to now turn agricultural waste into fuel briquettes is an EBAFOSA actor. But in the course of doing that, she's building value. And what is this value? The skill is value. You can make that. And then in the course of that value, she makes money because you can sell the briquette. So that's the logic of EBAFOSA. It's a framework that brings people together around a common purpose. What is common purpose? Solutions. Oh. And so when it comes down to the ground, EBAFOSA has done excellent. If you take EBAFOSA Uganda here, where you are the team leader, and I'm not saying this because you're team leader, I'm saying it from what I see. Yeah. Because they say good things never hide. I went to the field, I see mothers in Songa, Mukono district, right, who are explaining how their lives have changed. Because now they can dry their cassava, they can add value to it, and they can produce forest. And that is bringing them more money, and they're saving it into CBS PEWOSA. I went to Makambi, Mulingi, where, yes, and they are showing how a solar dryer have added value to their food, and they are making more money. How briquettes are bringing them more money. That's the testament from the people of how a collective inclusive framework have brought together people, and in the course of bringing them together, young people who have volunteered themselves in the spirit of innovative volunteerism are devising inputs that they are taking of solar dryers, fuel briquettes, EBA solutions, and that is transforming people. So if to answer your question in one word, excellent. EBAFOSA has performed excellent, and the best is still to come.
How with the youth? Today is a youth talk. Not only students. When I talk of youth is ideas, not
Correct.
years.
Correct.
Ideas. And EBAFOSA has changed the narrative of defining a youth in Africa. But you have explained from Mukama Mulungi Village Civil Association to Nsonga, to Gomba, to PEWOSA office, connecting the dots,
Correct.
not working in silos. But what should the youth expect today, and how would the youth
how will they
become
part of
that?
The process of connecting the dots?
Yes.
It's a very important question.
Yeah.
What they will expect today is that what you need is in you. As simple as that's my message.
Okay.
What you need is in you. You may expect that someone somewhere will give you something. No, you must be willing to embrace a solution, and that willingness is inside you. To first of all say, I will be able to do it, and I will do it. When we went down to the ground, the Songa Village Savings and Loan Association,
right,
the patron said it clear. We embraced this solution of solar dryer and became part of us. We wanted it, we needed it, and we embraced it. Today it is part of us. You can't take it away from us. The same message to the youth. If you need a solution, you want a good life, you want jobs, you need to internally tell yourself, I will have to retool my skill to turn a challenge to an opportunity. I will not be complaining, sitting folding my arms, thinking that someone somewhere. Government will never do it for you if you don't tap what you can do and generate data to say, government, look, we need incentives, this is what we're doing. People will listen to you only when you can offer value.
Lastly, Doctor, before you go, the
I'm
mobile
already
phone.
giving the lecture.
The mobile phone,
Correct.
is one of the best innovations, and one of the innovations which have changed the world.
Correct.
From the computer to mobile, you
Correct.
can use the mobile phone for everything.
Yes.
How can you advise the youth before we go for the lecture? This is not the lecture. The lecture
Yes.
is
Perfect.
living.
Yes, these are
Or
snippets
afternoon.
of
Yeah.
what.
So how can the youth embrace ICT? Because EBAFOSA is a platform which has brought a number of youth,
Yeah.
but we see the youth are the ones having the mobile phones,
Correct.
using internet, better than the other
Exactly.
generation.
From the work that I
Can you
saw,
explain that?
very good question. When I visited the community groups that EBAFOSA Uganda have helped train, have helped guided to be able to use climate action solutions of solar dryers, of EBA approaches to fuel briquettes, the spirit I saw, not the mothers there were not even having a cell phone. What I'm trying to say is that in the farm where we are planting, they didn't have a cell phone. And I know where I'm heading, but you could see the passion in them. They were passing information to one another. They were there on time. These are the that the youth have today. And if they can do what they're doing, it means the youth can do it 500 times. It then means the lack of the utilization of this very important tool. The cell phone in your hand is an opportunity to learn. Access YouTube and learn how to make a solar dryer, learn how to make briquettes, learn how to market. But unfortunately, that tool is being used to propagate propaganda. Second, that very cell phone in the youth hand,
Look in the camera and tell them.
knowledge. And that knowledge is only when you tap it to solve a problem in the community. Social media is free. You can use it to communicate a solution. You can use it to look for a market. You can use it to engage people and understand how they're making briquettes. But most of the time when you see youth action on social media, it's about abusing government. It's about abusing people. It's about trying to sound very high up there just for some 3-5 minutes of sound bites and popularity. Look, the best popularity is solutions. The best popularity is offering value. And if you can be able to use a cell phone, you will be 500 times better and you have the opportunities. Why do I say so? There is a false narrative that someone has to do something for us. It's a lie. There is a false narrative that if we sit full our arms and complain, then the solutions will come. It's a lie. And we must then be able, as young people, leverage our cell phones to engage youth in East Africa, to engage youth in West Africa, to engage youth in Central, Southern, and Northern Africa, to exchange ideas. Because from what is happening in Uganda here, the example of inclusive financial services that are integrated into climate action solutions are not only useful for Uganda. A youth in West Africa can learn from that. Perfect. And therefore, using this cell phone is actually a tool to drive solutions and create jobs for the youth. And until this is recognized, the sorry state of Africa might continue.
But today we have a lecture. And we have not started the lecture.
But yeah, we're lecturing.
And we are lecturing.
So when we speak inside here, yes, we're doing.
How can these youth join the EBAFOSA? Because I went to the website, I saw something registering and
Yes, like I said, I started by saying that EBAFOSA is an idea, and that idea is your idea. That then means you come to EBAFOSA website, you register as an innovative volunteer. What's an innovative volunteer?
Excellent.
You are voluntarily availing yourself to do something that helps you, and in the course of helping you, we can guide you from the lessons we have learned. So it starts with you, and I always say that your biggest ability is your availability. So avail yourself to register, also avail yourself to listen and follow structured guidance on how you can be guided, but you must be willing to do something yourself. So it goes back to the point, do something yourself.
look in the camera.
Do something yourself and become an
Again?
innovative volunteerism actor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for having you.
It's a great pleasure.
Once again, my name
Yes.
is David Uganda.
And I like your tie, man. Beautiful, amazing
you.
tie. Yeah. So these colors are colors of power, colors of availing yourself to do something, and brightness to show that at least
Perfect. We are ready
the
for
future
that.
of Africa is great. We are ready for the
lecture.
lecture. Please, if you are listening to this, the lecture starts at 1 p.m. Ugandan East African time. Be here at Makerere and come and listen. It's a conversation. And if you miss to attend this lecture, you'll be missing an opportunity for you to create wealth for yourself. It's going to be a beautiful moment in your life that you will never forget. Until then, let's catch up by that time.
I need
I see you holding certificate in their hands, waiting for jobs. Now I remind them today. Now I remind them the time for blame game is over.